Hello and welcome to the Ministry Miniatures, and today we've got a very special video. We are looking at Wargame's new Bolt Action Introductory Set. As you can see here, it's still in its cellophane, it's all nice and shiny, and we are going to have a closer look at this box set, which is being released in November, just in time for Christmas. So if you're interested in Bolt Action and you're not sure about whether to get started or not, I think this might just be up your street. So let's have a look at the box, let's have a look at the contents, and let's see what we can do with what's inside. Okay, so first of all, let's get the cellophane off and have a look. The box is smaller than some of the starter sets, but it is a lot cheaper. So this is really looking, I believe, at a starter set. So be careful when you're opening using a scalpel. I just don't want to damage the box. So first of all, let's have a look at the cover. So some really nice artwork on the front. Warlord never lets us down with that. And you can see, let's have a look at the side here. So it's basically an introductory set to help you start collecting, to building and assembling your force. It's going to talk through painting and through playing the game. So any of those that are interested in starting Bolt Action but not sure about taking the leap, this might just be the box set for you. So let's have a look what's on the back. And there again, it's just reaffirming the message. So it's welcoming new soldiers to the front line, and this is what you might need to start your collection. And as you can see there's a couple playing with the contents of the box. So what do you get in the box? Let's pop it open and let's have a look. Okay, so this is the contents of the box. Let's open it up. Inside, so this is we first saw this, which is one of the dice bags you're going to need for the game. It first came with the Bolt Action Battle of the Bulge starter set, so it's quite handy. Perfect for starting this game. There's also some dice there, so you can see there's 3 grey ones, which are generally used for the Germans, 3 green olive ones, which are generally used for the Americans, and then it comes with 8 white dice. So just what you need to get started with your forces. And then we've seen this in quite a few of the starter sets. It is one of the ruined buildings, so they come together quite nicely. You can use them as you like, so they are quite interchangeable. So I've done a few bigger buildings. So for my winter scenery, I've created some of these into a manor house and some other larger buildings, just because they go together so well. And that actually comes with 2 sprues. So as you can see here, there's all the exposed brickwork. You also get the corners, which are really nice. You can actually see details, the chimney. So as usual, they are nice and crisp, and they are really easy to put together, modular and really easy to paint. So let's pop that to the side. Then up next, you can't have figures without bases. These are the nice round bases used for Warlord games, and a little tip is I always score these bases when I'm sticking my basing on, just to stop any of the figures and the basing from lifting. But it looks like you get 2 German Grenadiers sprues. There's also more bases, so there's more than enough bases in this starter set than you're going to need, but that's good. And then 2 of the new US Ranger sprues. So let's have a look at those in a bit more detail in a minute. Let's see what else you get. So this is quite nice. It's basically talking through if you want to add some stuff and you're ready for the full rules. Here's how you can get the full rules from Warlord. And you can also check out the description below, because I've got an affiliate link, and if you like it, actually please click on that link and use that to help support the channel. There's a QR code here as well for one of the missions has a bunker, and you can download the mission and you can download the bunker that you can make from paper that you've printed off, which is quite a nice little touch. And then also there's a QR code there to sign up for the newsletter. Very good. Then what have we got here? So this is quite a thick card. It's printed on both sides, so it looks like instead of the plastic hand mag to keep costs down, there is a cardboard hand mag. So for the scenarios and for an introductory battle, this is probably ideal, because if it keeps the cost down and gets people involved, if you don't like it, then actually you've not invested too much money. But if you do like it, actually you can go ahead and buy a plastic hand mag, which can go with the infantry and your troops. These are pin markers, so there's enough there to use for your forces, and also immobilized in case the half track get immobilized. And very nicely, it even comes with a 6-inch ruler, so you can see how far you can move, and it might be worthwhile just thinking about that. You could slice them off right on the end, so you get exactly 6 inches between that. But there we go, it's two-sided, double-sided, so you get exactly the same on the other side. And then next, there is, it looks like a mat. So looking at the back of the artwork, you can see there's a mat here with a road, and this is poster material, which is quite nice, quite unusual, but we'll get that laid out in a minute and we'll see what the troops look like. So that's quite nice, including a mat. So it looks like you've got everything you would need in this set to get started. And then last but not least, we've got the field manual. And thank you, Alexandra, for packing such a nice box. So let's have a closer look at the field manual and we'll see what's inside. So just as I was moving the box base away, I noticed, which I didn't before, that this is actually the bunker. So you don't have to download and print off a paper bunker, which I thought would be pretty poor. This is much better. It is thick cardboard. It's the base of the box, so you can get an understanding of how thick it is. The download from the QR code is the scenario to use it. So this is a really nice piece that is ready to go. So yet again, everything you need is in the box. Let's have a closer look at the field manual. Okay, this is the field manual. And as you can see, there's quite a few pages. Brilliant artwork as usual on the front. This is a different one. You can see the Grenadiers fighting against the Rangers. So that emulates what you get inside the box. So let's have a look. So very good. You've got great artwork again. Contents, so showing you through some of the details of the history of the Second World War, just in sort of wargamer terms, and some different missions and how to paint. So I saw this book on Warlord Open Day, and there is some really good details in there around real basics around the beginners for starting bolt action. So if you're used to the books you used to get in the noughties and the 90s around starting wargaming, this is very much in that ilk, and it's very well done for those who are starting. So it starts with an introduction there. It's got some different scenarios, so Pegasus Bridge, you can see some German troops there, and a beach landing. We've done a beach landing. We are going to do Pegasus Bridge. I've got that. I'm painting it at the moment, so look out for that on future battle reports. Then it talks about bolt action as a hobby. So how to collect figures, how to build them. From basic infantry, you can do different combinations. So you see on the sprues, there's bazookas, some of them have LMGs, etc., etc. And it also goes through some of what you need to do to paint. This shows you how to play a game, and if you've seen any of our battle reports, you'll see we have similar setup to this. It's very good. You can get roads and hedgerows and buildings. Makes for a very cool and thematic game. Then it talks about some of the conflicts in the Second World War. So Germany strikes, so the initial German invasion of France and the lowlands, dueling the sun, so that's desert warfare, El Alamein, and across Libya and North Africa. Ostfront, so the Eastern Front, German invasion of Poland and through into Soviet Union. Empire in Flames, so this covers the US and the British and the Commonwealth forces in the Pacific theatre, so that's very nice. And then if you're looking at later war, Battleground Europe, so as you can see there, it gives you a very, very brief and war game history of World War II to get you to think about which area you might want to start with, because I think what's really important is when you start playing bolt action, start with what you like. So if you like Germans, go for Germans. If you like the US, go for the US. Start with your own army that you enjoy, because you'll get much more pleasure out of it. Build your army up, add to it, and find people who also like playing it, and actually it makes it really, really easy then to put together some really good battle reports like we do. So we've got a group of half a dozen, perhaps 7 or 8 of us. We've all got our own figures, we've all got our own terrain, but actually when we come together, we can put on some really good battle reports. So check those out from our previous battles. So moving on, as you can see here, it shows you how to build your miniatures, what you'll need. So clippers to clip them off the plastic frames. You'll need to dry fit, but glue them together so you get the right pieces in place. Taking off the mold lines, which is really important if you want really good looking crisp characters without lines down them. And then it shows you how you can put those together for your battle. It then moves on to talk about playing the games. So actually, as you can see here, 3 or 4 players. There are tournaments. You can start off with just playing on your own in your kitchen, like I do sometimes, or get some friends round and you can have, like we have, where we've had 3 or 4 aside and turns into a massive, great big game. But here it goes. It talks through the basics of playing the game. So the turn sequence, what the order dice do, a bit more detail on order dice. It talks about the pins and pin markers, and then the basic concepts of playing the game. So here, measuring, line of sight, and then it comes on to, starts to talk about missions. So it goes through what's on the US Ranger sprue, and we'll have a look at those in more detail in a moment. It also goes through the German Grenadiers sprue. So it labels each individual part. So you can really build your figures how you want, whether you want them to have an SMG, an LMG, a rifle, a B.A.R, a bazooka, Panzerfaust. It's up to you. Those elements are all on here and you can build your figures how you want. Once you have built your figures, and you can see here the different colours show how to build different figures, you can then go on to the first mission in the book, which is First Contact. So this is just a very, very small 3 aside. There's 3 figures. You're just learning how to move, how to fire. Then the second mission in here is Defensive Positions, and that's where you can use the ruins that come with the set. So this then very much talks around using cover saves. You add to it, you can add extra troops. So you now have 5 aside, each on 1 order dice. And it's basically building you up through the different games, building your force and learning the rules. So mission 3, the whites of their eyes. So again, you're building up your force and you're just going to fight against the Germans to learn the basic details. And this one is around close combat, so whether you have submachine guns, etc. Mission 4, we're pinned down, sir. So that's another one where you now have 2 units. So you're adding to them. You can see here the 2 different German units. You learn more about the down and rally order dice. And mission 5 is where the cardboard cutout of your half track, unless you already have one, you can use that. But this is very much just for those wanting the basic game to see if they like it or not. And you can go through this and decide whether you like it. And if you do, you can invest in it and buy some more. And then there we go. It goes on to damage charts for vehicles, explains how the rules work for vehicles. Then mission 6 is all out war. This time you're adding to your forces. You can use what comes with it. So the German half track, the mat, and the ruined farmhouse. Okay, so just having a bit more look at the painting guides on page 38. So it tells you what you need. So the real basics, from having paintbrushes, water, a palette. There's even a QR code if you need to go on and get the right paints. And then some basic techniques, such as base coating your figure, washing your figure, and then advanced techniques such as highlighting and thinning your paints. Second highlight, and then it's got here as well around basing. And I always remember being told faces and bases make your figures. So that's a really good thing to learn, is to base your figures really well. And then this is really nice. So it's got the colours you need for the German Grenadiers So as you see here, undercoat with black, and then you've got all the different colours you need to start painting the base coats. Then you shade, and then you can put your highlights on. And it's got here about what the camo looks like, and doing splinter camo if you're brave enough. So it shows you there what that looks like, and then once it's based, you can see it really makes the figure pop. So that's the Grenadiers. Again, it's got the figures here that are undercoated. It's got the paints that you need to paint the US Rangers. Of course, you can paint the figures however you want, but this is these are the paints that are available for each of the figures. So again, base coat the figure, give it a wash, base it, and as it says there, they are ready for war. So that's the US painting guide. Then here it says actually what are the next steps. So next steps, first of all, check out the YouTube channel, check out some of our battle reports. If you want to see, I'm thinking about doing a bolt action boot camp, maybe using some of the scenarios in here to talk through the basics of bolt action. Leave a comment below. If you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. It really, really helps. Or if you know anyone that wants to start, send them this video, share it with them so that actually they can see what you get in the box set. And if you're interested in buying it, please use the affiliate code in the description below, because that really, really helps support the channel. So the next steps very much are around getting the rules. 3rd edition rules have just come out. Bolt Action is a really, really cool game. Warlord have been amazing. They have replaced the rules, and anyone that bought the new rules during that time period were given a voucher to get the newer rules free of charge. So that was a really, really good move on their part, and they haven't updated the rules for a long time, so it's not as if we're going to do a new edition anytime soon. You can go on boltaction.com, so there's lots of information on there about playing the game. And then it talks about growing your collection. So this hasn't talked about the different platoons you need, but you can go into buying tanks. You can have flamethrowers as part of engineer platoons. And it's showing here different types of troops you can have. So US Marine Corps, for example, is another one. These are what the plastic handmags look like. So much nicer, but the one we've got in here is good enough to get started if you're just interested in the game but not sure whether you want to commit. And of course the iconic German tanks, they work really well in the game. The new version really lends itself to using tanks, mortars, half tracks, so look at those. They're very, very good. As you see here, you can get additional things such as a sniper team, Panzerschreck or flamethrower. So if that's what you like, you can have those. Fallschirmjäger, you can get those to support your Germans. As we have done, you can do Eastern Front and Winter Battles. Battle of the Bulge, for example, is one of the new box sets that's come out. And other nations, British and Commonwealth. If you're into desert, check out my long range desert group and SAS, and also the Commonwealth. I did a 4-part video around my building and painting a huge desert Commonwealth army. And then here, so other nations, there's lots of details on there about the British, both early war and in Burma. Then this one's Japan, so you can build a Japanese force if that's what you like. Beach landings, jungle warfare, all very, very doable. Next up, we've got the Soviet Union. So if you've seen any of our videos on the Operation Barbarossa, we go through different Russian villages. We're about to go into Stalingrad, so please check that out. And as you know, with the Soviets, you can have tons of tanks. So that's very good. Italians, both the Alpini, for if you want a bit more veteran troops. We've done some Italian battles. We need to get more Italian troops on the table. And also desert warfare. So North Africa, the Italians supported and were with the Germans in Northern Africa. And then, of course, there's other allies. So it talks on here about if you wanted to collect partisans or the Polish, Belgians. So there is lots of detail around collecting other forces. Finnish, for example, I love my Finnish army. And I know a lot of people like the Hungarians. So this just talks through and shows some pictures about what else you can collect. Great piece of artwork. And then lastly, the last couple of pages just talks about the games web store. So Warlord Games web store, where you can go on and look what's coming up. There's a whole community on there. They run different events. So this is Warlord Open Day. Again, I've put a video. Check out some of my other videos if you want to see what kind of thing happens on Warlord Open Day. And it might be that actually you just find a local provider that sells them. And as it says here, this is just the beginning. The idea behind this set is very much just to give you a flavour of what the game's like without spending too much money on a new big starter set. This is something you can just put together in a day. You can play with the forces, you can play with the battle, and you can go through some of the scenarios and see whether you like the game or not. Okay, so first up, let's have a quick look at the German Grenadiers sprue. So as you can see, there are plenty of weapons on here. There's a light machine gun, there is an assault rifle in hand, there's a spare sprue. You get ammo pouches for the assault rifle, rifles. There's a guy there with some binoculars and either a field manual or a map. Moving down this side, there's a couple of bodies, one kneeling and one with his camo smock. There's a rifle shooting, a spare rifle, then there's some Panzer Faust. There's one loose and one if you want to model it on the figure. Then there's a pouch there for putting maps for the officer. And then moving down here, there's some spare arms. You get one with a stick grenade. There's a belt for ammo for the LMG, the officer's pistol. There's even a spare helmet. So if you want to figure without a helmet and just hair, you can actually have him holding, or on the base you could stick the helmet. And looking at the hats on the heads here, there's a couple with caps. There's an officer's cap, and then there's enough helmeted heads here for all of the sprues. And they all have all of the figures on the sprue, and they all have different expressions, which is good. So there you can see there's an SMG and a rifle and a Soviet SMG, which is all very good. Another spare SMG, and there's an ammo tin for your loader for the LMG. A couple more bodies, so the detail on those are quite good. They're quite easy to paint. As you see there, another rifle molded, which makes it easier. An LMG with sleeves up. Two more bodies, so you get 6 on each sprue. And then here you can see the webbing pouches. So there's the bread pouch, water bottle, entrenching tool and a knife. And then the gas mask holders, which by the late war, they were just used for holding valuables. So there you can see, that's the sprue you get. You get 6 men on each sprue. There's 2 sprues in this box set, so that gives you 12 men. Let's have a look at the American sprue. Okay, next up it's the Americans, and there you see there are different helmets, and one of them smoking a cigarette, which is pretty cool. One of them across here's got goggles on his head. So this is the sprue for the US Army Rangers. So there are different weapons available to them, knives, which is very cool because all of these different entrenching tools and weapons and stuff go on the side of the belts, which just makes them stand out a bit more. So you see there's for the bazooka, there's a pouch with the rockets in, Bangalore, and that could either be explosives, or if you wanted to make a medic, you could do. SMG, then the B.A.R, and then you can see here the first of the American troops. So again, the detail is really nice and crisp, and he's got his gaiters on there. A couple more troops, and then you can see here there's a rifle slung over the shoulder. Again, another pouch being carried, so you could easily make a medic. Someone throwing a grenade, another rifle, and then some very nice packs, all with entrenching tools, and one there with a knife on, all very nice and crisp. And then you've got water bottles and daggers for your troops. Then this side of the sprue has more helmets. So there you go, there's one with glasses, you've got different types of netting, so you can really make your troops individual and with character. Then if you didn't want the entrenching tool on your backpacks, you also get different backpacks, so they don't have them. There's some more ammo pouches, there's a man holding his helmet. You can see there's another rifle, and that there shows you some more detail around the individual sprue. A couple more rifles that are molded, a nice little pouch there with some really nice detail. And then that's nice, I haven't seen this before, which is the Springfield with a sniper telescopic scope. So if you wanted to do a Saving Private Ryan sniper, you could do that quite nicely, especially with the kneeling pose, because that would just give you a nice sniper. Then you've got someone running, and then here you can see there's a bazooka SMG, the bazooka arm to load the rocket. Very nice. There's a few axes, a few torches, and especially during the Second World War, they used to have red lenses on them. I remember seeing my granddad's, which didn't shine so much at night, so you could see without giving your position away. And then there are some ammo pouches, some pouches for the SMG, a few spare grenades, and another helmet. So there you go. That is the sprue for the US Army Rangers. Now let's put it all together and see what comes. Okay, so here is the starter set laid out with everything you've got in the box. So as you can see, I've laid the mat out. It's ideal for starting. Yes, it's got some creases on, but actually if you just want to get the theme of playing a game, this is good enough. So over this side, I've got the manual there to go through the scenarios in the book. I've taken the Hanamag out, so we'll have a look what that looks like. But here are some I prepared earlier. So 2 Ranger rifle squads in a rifle platoon and an officer. You can see at the back there, once painted up, you can make the ruins look pretty cool, and you can fight over those should you wish. They're moving along. Here are the Germans that I prepared. So an officer and 2 rifle squads within the platoon, the rifle platoon. I've given them LMGs, so their firepower might be a bit better than the Americans that just have the B.A.Rs. But you can see it's quite nice to get detail on the figures and make them really stand out. Ready for a game. And the mat here, as you can see, it is ideal for a starter game. The German officer there, and then some troops with the LMG ready to fight. The half track, it is fine for getting started, just to see whether you like the game or not, but you would want to quite quickly invest in one of the plastic ones on Warlord website, so they are available. And then as we saw, there we go, we've got the bunker that is ready to go. So there we go, that is the starter set. As I said earlier, if you want me to go through and do a bolt action boot camp, put some comments below, give it a thumbs up, let me know that you've enjoyed this video, and we'll go through some scenarios and building up a force, how to work platoons, and get everyone started on bolt action, because it's a very nice game. But most importantly, I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already, because please, it really helps. And it really helps with getting support from other people. Check out our patrons, because you also can become a patron and be one of the officers or a sniper or something within one of the battles. There's different levels. If you just want to help out a little bit, you can join as a recruit, or if you wanted to, you can join as a shout out and lead one of our forces into battle. But there we go, that is the Bolt Action Field Introductory Set from Warlord Games, and I must say, to get started for £40, that is not bad. So check it out, check the links out below, use the affiliate code, and happy wargaming.